There's fascinating science about practice, and there's so many myths. Myths about how we practice, how we get better, what practice does. And in this video, we're going to look at practicing emotional intelligence and how the right kind of practice in the moments and days and eras of our lifetime can help us actually get better to get the results we want. What does it mean to practice emotional intelligence? At 6 seconds, we have a vision of 1 billion people practicing emotional intelligence. So what does it mean to practice, and what is emotional intelligence? Well, to start with, emotional intelligence is about being smarter with feelings. We all have feelings. They affect us. They affect us physiologically. They affect our brains. They affect every living cell in our body. So these emotions are there. We can be dumb and just let it happen as it happens, or we can be smarter with our feelings and be intentional and pay attention. It's like a pair of glasses, and everything that we perceive, every thought that we have, every behavior is filtered through this emotional lens. And so when we talk about practicing emotional intelligence, how do you pay attention to this moment in your life, to this day in your life, or your whole life, and make sure that you're showing up on purpose? When we talk about practicing emotional intelligence, we're bringing it into the day-to-day, the moment-to-moment, and we're using our bigger plan to make sure that those moments add up to something. On a moment-to-moment basis, when we practice emotional intelligence, it starts by noticing and saying, whoa, something is happening here. I'm feeling something. I'm reacting in a particular way. And I've set myself on a path, and it's just about stopping to say, this is the path I want to be on. I'm in the middle of a conversation. I'm washing dishes. I'm writing an email. I'm arguing with my teenager. Whatever it is you're doing in that moment, you stop and you say, wait, is this how I want to be going? Is this the path that I want to be on? And emotion gives you a clue. When you feel something physically, you feel something emotionally, you notice these clues and you say, hold on, that's a clue. Let me pay attention to it. That's the first step in practicing. And then you consider, what options do I have? And then what do you really want? And you might continue on the same path, or you might try something new. Now, in daily practice, we're doing much the same, but we're planning a little bit in advance. We're saying, today, I want to listen better. Today, I want to connect better. Today, I want to influence people more effectively by stepping into the role of coach. Whatever it is you want to practice today in terms of your relationships with yourself, your relationships with others, set a goal and say, what can I practice to help me do that? And again, the same 3 questions that I asked. What feelings and reactions will help you with that? What options can you choose rather than being on autopilot to be intentional? And what do you really want? And by setting this plan for practice in advance for today or for this week, it's going to let you use your emotional intelligence more intentionally. And then we zoom out further to your whole life. And you say, well, thinking about my life, what do I want these moments of practice to contribute to? We call this pursuing a noble goal. It's about saying, what is it that I really want to add to the world? And how do I show up in these days and in these moments in line with that bigger picture? My noble goal is to inspire compassionate wisdom. And so I think about these day-to-day choices that I have and these moment-to-moment choices that I have. And I think, how do I want to practice feeling that inspiration, inspiring others? How do I want to show up as somebody who's inviting that wisdom instead of telling or directing? And even here in this video, what I'm hoping is that the questions that I'm asking you and the way I'm asking you these questions will inspire in you some compassionate wisdom for you to think about who you want to be and how you want to show up, and then inviting you to practice being that person, practice engaging in that way. So, key points in this video: emotional intelligence is something you can practice. You can practice it in the moments by pausing and noticing your feelings. You can practice it in the days by being intentional about how you want to show up, and you can practice it in your lifetime by asking yourself who you really want to be. Now it's your turn. How are you going to practice emotional